Hello guys, so welcome to today's show. My name is CHUKS and you're on GFL TV, the home of football. So if today is the first time where you see our program for you able to bring you the latest Arsenal news updates as they drop all over the world. So for now, I'm gonna start with today's morning show. All right, so Virgil van Dijk will be the captain of Liverpool. So him going to talk about the match we will play on the 8th. I think on Thursday 9 p.m. or thereabouts at the Emirates Stadium. The match where Liverpool will play against Arsenal. So instead you don't observe that game, say that game go tough. So that game na big fight. Say in with in comrades, in with in colleagues, they need to be very, very ready for that game. Baba talk many things. You go think say what will they do for the Emirates Stadium? So people know they notice. Baba, everybody know. Everybody. For Van Dijk to open your mouth say they go cool down on Tuesday, wey be today. They go cool down and watch our videos to know where be our strengths, know our weaknesses. Him come dey tell the media man our own statistics for the Emirates Stadium say omo this place nobody don win there for all competition. So for you to know say they are well informed on what we are doing. Na normal level everybody dey observe everybody. In fact, let me take you to how the Daily Express put out this particular report. Van Dijk warns Liverpool a big fight is coming this week. In dey warn him padi dem because him sef know say the battle wey dey come no be small battle. This na battle of Muzanga, so no be small things. Now, Van Dijk has called on Liverpool to brace themselves. When somebody tells you to brace yourself, it means a force is coming towards you. So you need to brace. When the thing jam you, bah, then you go know whether you go survive. Brace themselves for a big fight as they prepare to face the Premier League front runners Arsenal this Thursday. So the Red Captains believe such high stakes matches should invigorate the squad as they aim to stretch their unbeaten. See, they did 9 games unbeaten already, and we have this penchant of scattering people's unbeaten run. We did it to Bayern, we did it to Aston Villa, we're gonna do it to Liverpool. Van Dijk said, first of all, go down low. We will recover from this. That's the one we then draw the last one. But from Tuesday on, we will definitely look at the strengths that they have. That's we Arsenal. You get. They have a fantastic squad with players on the pitch and also players coming from the bench. Okay, listen. We all know at home at the Emirates Stadium, Arsenal are unbeaten this season. We know that. I think in all competitions, so it is a nice challenge and we should be ready for a big fight. I'm really looking forward to it, and I think everyone should. That is the only way to try and get a result because you can't go there and be feeling like cowards. Like go there and say, okay, Arsenal, they're too good. No, so they will come fight and try. But you can only try. You can only try. They will try to get a result. There is no reason to not look forward to it, in my opinion. Another opportunity, but first, make them recover from their injuries, recover from their bad form, you get. Then they'll come see wetin then go do there. I know, so like this now, we dey like 14 points ahead of Liverpool. So if we knock them as I expect, not if, when we knock them as I expect, so we go dey 17 points, whooping 17 points ahead of this Liverpool side. It go dey like this is the best time to play Liverpool. In fact, when Egypt dey play Benin Republic, I was rooting for Egypt because I wanted Egypt to beat Benin so that Salah go still dey more out. If to say maybe Egypt comot, Salah go come back for this game because there will be ample time for them to even send private jet, bring am come. Salah no dey inform like that, but his presence is still something. You get. There's this fear factor about Salah. He didn't get presence, even though in the lose guard or they lose guard. So as them win Benin Republic 3-1 for the extra time, Salah don't go further in the AFCON. So we are looking at the match where they will not have Ekitike. Forget anything wey Arsenal dey talk. Ekitike highest Ekitike go enter second half 20 minutes. Highest hamstring 91. So no Ekitike. You are looking at many players wey go do that. No Isak, that one I don break im leg already. No Scaloni, that one na ACL. Like Konate and Van Dijk, they know they are formidable as before. This is the recipe for disaster for Liverpool. Like coming to the Emirates Stadium, we're supposed to do the way to do Aston Villa. That will be the greatest gift. We'll just run out for them because many people are still angry with what happened in the first leg. But when they're going to get one free kick now, this supposed like go down now. Lights in the strike twice for the same place. All of us know that one. So now, away from that, even our slots won't do press conference this morning. So he don't give the time scale on how Ekitike will come back or Isak. He said Isaac na just some few weeks or maybe months, yes. So now wetin talk, but for Ekitike, he say he never really dey sure because he was talking to BN Sports and Slot insisted Liverpool will continue to assess Ekitike this week, but shrouded doubts on whether the France international can feature at the Emirates Stadium. So the Reds head coach replied when they were asking him if Ekitike will be available against Arsenal. He said, could be. Let's wait and see how he does on Monday and the days after. It's always going to be a thin line and a difficult balance. If a player is not available today, is he then available in 4 days? Especially if Isaac is out for 3 months. Mad. Isaac out for 3 months. Wow. I don't know exactly how long, but for weeks and months. Then you have to make the right decision and right call on Hugo. Because at first, they go listen to wetin Ekitike go talk, they go listen to the medical department, then dem go come make the right choice. Because you know say most of all these things, the player go say, I dey okay, my body dey okay. Medical department fit say, oh, I okay o, when I no play am o, we no okay anything. So na dem go come know. Sometimes clubs listen to player and follow the player advice and playing. But you see this one, dem know say you are playing the best team in the league, if not Europe. So you no go fit dey risk your players, kukuma keep am, make e no go deteriorate in situation, so that many matches ready for front go play. Because if you play for this game, aje, the thing go escalate. You get that way that the manage go. The thing go blow in the bigger proportion. I don't think I dey think sha. But regardless, when they if someone like me come in and play anybody they must collect. They no fit escape am. They must collect. Now, I dey see wetin dey happen for Manchester United. One of the former Manchester United players, when they talk say no wants make Maresca, make them sign. Because me, I don't talk and say now Maresca be the thing say they go sign. He say no one make them sign Maresca. Now, when you go through his thought process, his reasoning, it no really make any sense to me. You know, they talk say Maresca no be good coach. Oh. He say Maresca na good coach. Say yes, he agree. But because Maresca learn work under Pep, for that reason, you no want ex-Manchester City person to be Man U coach. Make this make sense. You are not looking at about the successes of the team. If such a good coach can come and coach you, you are looking at his history. Can you look at imagine? Speaking on the good, the bad, and the football podcast, Bot said, if Maresca comes in, I like him as a coach. I really do. With the background, I will give my season ticket back. I can't sit here and go on about Manchester United philosophy and DNA and then go, well, I love Maresca. An ex-Manchester City guy? Then you have Omar Berrada and Jason Wilcox. I don't care how much success is. That one I even off me. You don't even care whether the guy go be successful or not. Say where him they live. Now Man City fans full there. In the only Manchester United fan where they there. Therefore, you don't feel allowed. Can you look at some people's thought process? Can you just look at that? It just be like there was a time we reported one story where the Kroenkes collected one assistant coach from Tottenham Hotspur to carry to one of their other franchise. Imagine when they call it think say, this guy they come from one of our rivals, so not London Derby. Oh, we could not carry him. You are not looking at meritocracy. You are looking at sentiment and emotion. That's why most of all these pundits, they need to lie them down, give them like 20 strokes of the game. You sacrifice success on the altar of emotion and sentiment. Bagadash. Now, away from that, so I was saying this Ruben Amorim exclusive. So they say the majority of the players at Manchester United, they are actually unhappy with the sacking of Amorim. Say, well-placed sources say Amorim was very popular with the players and they retained the backing of most of the squad players. So according to Sun Sports and journalist Samuel Lockhurst, he reveals what has been going on behind the scenes. It happen like that. When coach come out, some people will be say then get allegiance to the coach, they're not going to be happy. Just like Chelsea Maresca. I listened to the interview of Enzo Fernandez, Pedro Neto, Rhys James. All of them know they happy, but that's football. You get like what's in Enzo Fernandez talk. That is football. It can be painful. You get. So what's that for Manchester United now? There are some players who be say they don't already they vex, they won't come out because the coach. I don't understand that. You see people like Kobe Mainoo. You see people like Manuel Ugarte. You see and who else? Lisandro Martinez and some other people. They vex for the coach say so they won't come out. Now you say new manager they won't come in because they say now they're gonna social go fit come in. They're looking at interim role. Then maybe end of the season they'll come look for a main coach. Then Darren Fletcher will go back to under 21 Kini. They don't even bring Johnny Evans. They can even join them again. So they're looking at interim role. The organization don't apply by himself, don't apply, say, are they interested? May not give me the job, I go help na stabilize the ship. Then at the end of the season, even if na 6 months contract, I no send. At the end of the season, then na fit get who na one get me, na no go rush, do mistake. Now, away from that, Manchester City breaking according to Fabrizio Romano, say they want Maguire by fire by force. You get. So say they already start discussions, get everything on the go. So Guehi is going to decide whether I'm going to leave Palace at in 2026. But the thing where they refuse to understand is say, no be Guehi go decide whether I'm going to leave, because he's still contracted with Crystal Palace. Now, whether Crystal Palace, the question should be, will Crystal Palace agree to sell Guehi in January and collect some change instead of allow him to leave as a free agent at the end of the season? Secondly, shey where he go like to go sign for Manchester City now, or make him wait end of the season when he go get the pick of all the whole different top clubs? Everybody define am, because then he will be very attractive as a free agent if he even collect sign on bonus gan sef. So na the guy go decide at the end of the day, and instead go think and say, shey na because of this long term injury wey I get to na key players, that's why I wan sign me. If those key players come back, what will not happen? Will you not relegate me to the bench? These are everything that will be in the discussion table, where we say where he go look, can decide from at the end of the day. Now I can tell you for free that Liam Rossini is now the coach of Chelsea. TNT Sports carry him, Fabrizio Romano carry him. It's here we go already. So he has already signed for Chelsea. Another truth wey me I go still tell you, say they go still fire this one, even though they give him like 6 years contract or thereabout. They go still fire him, because I think his contract is till 2032. This one, they go still fire him. E just be like Thomas Frank wey dey beg yesterday. So you don't sack people anyhow. Stability, consistency. There must be synergy between the board, the leadership, and the coach. Look at what's going on with Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City. Baba, you know, be all those coaches, they go still fire you. Get. In fact, poly markets don't put, and people dey bet already say whether when they go sack Thomas Frank, when they go sack this football kini, it is very funny. Now, looking at tomorrow's games, Wednesday, I can't discover say Manchester City go first us play. I be thinking that we go first them play so that we'll apply more pressure on them. You get, because we will play Liverpool. The expectation is that we are going to win, although it's not going to be a walk in the park. But the expectation is that we will beat them. So Man City will play Brighton at the Etihad Stadium. So we will see the type of lineup we then go play. Look at the strength of their bench, and maybe Man City might crumble again. Nobody really knows. Okay? So we'll see how that match will go. Then Aston Villa go play Crystal Palace. Whether we like it or not, we'll see they keep one eye on Aston Villa, because what they do, even though they are not really a threat, in my own opinion. So that one safe day. Now, based on the match we won't play today, Chris Sutton call the talk say Arsenal go beat Liverpool like convincingly, easily, because see what Liverpool are a bang average squad without Isak, without Salah, without Hugo Ekitike. I don't want to do am. Kodiga go play center forward. Kodiga go dey fight against Saliba and Maga. I don't want to do am. Physically, they go bully am. So there is no way they will come and set up defensively. Surely, play 10 men behind the ball, or maybe they get cross and not Van Dijk, not that mental. Now the only way, or maybe they get penalty. Now the only way they fit collect points. But in the overall 90 minutes, Baba, tiredness go even enter them, because who there for the bench they won't bring in. Last they go bring academy. Who go they come assassin, they put killer. So me, I subscribe to waiting for Chris Watts in the talk, because if the talk say the first leg where Arsenal beats, where Liverpool beats Arsenal, Arteta was very cautious. Say in fact, in believe say Arsenal will win, but the only problem we get now, will Arteta remove that sense of cautiousness? Say okay, I don't want to go forward. But me, I feel the two situations are not the same. Now we are a high flying side. We are filled with confidence. We are playing at home. We know they get that handbrake at home. We always fly out at home. So I think you have to put in the context, the right context. So that fear, I don't really think anybody should be thinking about that one. For this match, from as the blown whistle, you go see rush hour now, part 1, part 2, part 3, as in back. We feel no score back, but you go see the intent. You go know say we know they play. You get all those our history with them know. They won't monitor our tape. They know say we know be their mates. You get. There is this fear factor about Arsenal this time around. There is this fear factor. Anybody where they come Emirates Stadium, you know, say to win is a tall order. The most you can get is a draw. And to get that draw safe, you are going to be faced with waves and waves and waves and waves of attacks. Now, whether you go fit defend down, I don't want to be the issue. So me, I see a high scoring game in that match. Liverpool, where we don't know they play 10 men behind the ball, but they may do it for the first time in a long while. Now, what see me, I see I can tell you that for free. Yes. Now, away from that, so we can't get some confirmation. Say Manchester City's Josko Gabriel has already undergone a surgery for his tibial fracture in the right leg. So it's quite sad for Man City and quite good for us in terms of the title race. Yes. Because now they're going to need to go buy somebody in. What is the guarantee that the person I will bring in will fit into what they are doing there? So these are all the conversation you get. As then said, they're happy when our own players they go injury. Now, so we said we're happy, the player go injury. So it's for tax, na normal level. All right, let's bring you this message from Madam Adobe, who has this Turkish furniture for sale, brand new Turkish furniture, complete sets available for sale. So they have 2 3-seater chairs, 2 single-seater chairs, 3 side tables, 1 center table, big size dining table, 6 tables of dining seats, 6 throw pillows. So if you're interested in this original Turkish furniture, make you contact Madam Adobe on 080-206-02634. And the location of this furniture, now Shongotedo at Lagos, Nigeria. Her number is at the bottom of the screen. So do well to contact her ASP if you are interested. Away from that, we will also bring you a message from Mobile Wealth Associates and Co. Limited. They are into construction services, dredging, canalization, real estate, and shore protection works. They are also into mechanical and fabrication services and procurement services nationwide. So if you want to reach out to them, call them on +234 8064642234, and they're located at number 7 Ekeniwa Road, or Razi, opposite St. Stephen's Anglican Church, Port Harcourt. So if you're interested in any of their services, please do reach out to them. Now, away from that, Martin Zubimendi going to reveal the role where Merino play when they want to sign him for Arsenal. Say, obviously, you expect that when he wants to sign for Arsenal, he go call person we did there to let them know how they go. Even though he already make up your mind, though, so now they won't go, but he still won't get clarity. You get so he say obviously getting the opinion of a player who's already in the squad is always helpful. But I had pretty much made up my decision already. So it's true that his opinion helps clarify things a bit more for me. You get so that makes sense. That's why if you watch, if Merino, if Zubimendi scored, they have a good game. Merino, they always happy for him because he'll be like, I told you so, I told you so, I told you to come here. You get, and the guy they enjoy, you get, and all of them and they follow contributes to helping us win our first title in a very, very long while. Now, in a twist of events, Real Madrid Presidente Florentino Perez. So Babylon talks saying they're interested in signing Declan Rice. So you really admire within Declan Rice they do. So according to Spanish Defensa Central, Real Madrid president Florentino Perez considers Rice to be one of the finest players in the world. The report suggests that Perez is tempted by the idea of signing a midfielder, particularly after developing reservations about the physical strength of Man City's Rodri, another player has long admired. Because before now, Rodri, they really said the one time, but for their estimation, Rodri no get that physical strength. Like, in fact, Rodri is not Rodri again for their estimation. So look at the next shiny objects, Declan Rice, but it will take a whole lot. In fact, they don't even sign up. Number one, Arsenal know they put buyout clause for their players' contracts. So to get Rice, you have to pass through Arsenal. And Arsenal will tell you he is not available. He's an untouchable. He gets. So now so it just be. You'll hear when I think that they talk about Rice, Rice good here for a very, very long time. I think I don't see the future. I think I know the mindset and the mentality of Rice. So you see that guy. Don't be surprised. One day Rice will become a Arsenal captain. Don't be surprised. Now, yesterday, Nigeria beats Mozambique. I think 3-0 or thereabouts. At the end of the day, inside the match, we want to see Osimhen and Ademola Lookman. They won't fight. Now, when I saw this, a lot of people don't argue on social media why Osimhen shouldn't have done it. What it caused the fight? Ademola Lookman had a chance to pass to Osimhen. He refused to pass to Osimhen. Osimhen can't vex. At some point, because I don't know, let's say the referee were near them, Mike they in body because we they hear what Osimhen talk. Osimhen say, this is a team game. This is a team game. This is a team game. You're supposed to pass the ball. Because even if they win 3-0 already, pass. Ademola Lookman for that match, I think he had 2 assists, 1 goal. He was even the man of the match. You get. Now, why are they bring this story? Even though I know supports like the argument and the fighting on the pitch between the 2 players, but I kind of think, say, can we see Gyökeres do this? Like in situations where they don't give am pass. People go tear for them, say, "Oga, close shit. For me the pass now." You know all those kind of level. But Gyökeres no get that authority. He gets no go fit because he's not really the best player in the team. He's not really widely known. The reason why we go see my video and say Osimhen might be number 1 as in for the Arsenal, for the Nigerian team. You get. So I just dey compare and contrast both situations, but e no fit really happen sha. So I just go Jukuro, more come there, more move forward. Now, David Ornstein only give us this update. So he say Manchester United plans for January is unchanged, even though Amorim don go. Anthony Semenyo say Semenyo go play in final game against Tottenham Hotspur. After in final game, then go join Man City. So now, later they come even dey talk say Bournemouth had an agreement with Man City. So we go sell this player to you. This player go join you. No arguments. But he go play Spurs game. He go play Arsenal game. And one other game they also mentioned. So he go play all those games. And Chelsea game. So he go play all those games. You get. Now, David Onsak also they tell us say even though Man City is interested in signing Maguire, say they don't intensify their pursuits, but there is no guarantee. Say Maguire go join them, and that's the way myself I feel about it. Now, Anthony Semenyo's final game against Bournemouth. Okay, now I just talk now about the agreements. Let's not waste time on that. Let's move forward. Now, the Athletic when they explain what really happened behind the scenes. We can make them even sack Amorim. You get. First, they say Amorim gets quarrel with Jason Wilcox, as the director of football, those things, over tactics and transfer. What will handle that one first? Is it normal for people in the hierarchy to be telling the coach the type of tactics we go use for his own team? If you think you know better than the coach, why you no go apply as coachee? When the Kokoma give you the role, the job description of a director of football, sporting director, is quite different to the job description of a coach. Like, it don't really make any sense. And now we are normalizing this kind of cankerous behavior. It don't make any sense. Why are you even arguing transfer with the coach? Coaching will go use the player. You don't follow and argue now because now what's make Amorim call the talk for press conference? Say, now when I want to join this club, I told them I want to be the manager. I want to control everything. Amorim is the man talk say, let the directors face their own job. Let me face my own job. So now all those things now lead to in sacking because the Athletic only uncover what happened. Yes, Amorim is a bad manager in the history of Manchester United. He had like 33 points and Kinikon win ratio is the worst of them all. But you still have to blame people like Jason Wilcox and Omar Berrada because it don't make sense. Secondly, Sir Jim Ratcliffe wanted a switch to a back four. Now you be coach. Why you going to tell the coach formation when you go play? Like, I don't know whether only me they see these things. Even though a lot of people they criticize Amorim for the media space, but really, it doesn't make. Imagine make Andrea Beretta now come call the Tata say, "But could they play 4-4-2? Or more they play 4-2-3-1? Or more could they invert enter midfield? Or some could they play from the back? Imagine that nonsense." Now the Glazers are uneasy since August. Then the contract said the manager had a training pitch argument with Lisandro Martinez. Martinez, the physio don't send the okay to play. Him tell coach send the okay to play. Coach no one play. But back on the para. Come go square up with the coach. They come argue. Shey Martinez supposed to do that kind. Like Manchester United, a lot of rubbish. This type of things now. What's the type of Arsenal of the old? In fact, that can stabilize everywhere. So much egos. So much people feel say they be God, bigger than the club. Now, at the end of the day, I told you Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, now the talk says maybe Naim will take care of the club in an interim role. Now, while Ruben Amorim was charming and generous with fans and regular staff, some players wanted better communication from him. On occasions, he responded positively to being challenged. He and Lisandro Martinez squared up to each other during training in December. Martinez considered himself ready to start and feeling Amorim was overlooking him, made this point in what has been described as an intense manner. So Martinez, although Amorim not going to start for some games, but later he starts the guy. Like a lot of things happen for that club. That's why they are where they are. You get they need to compete for honors. Nothing. You get. Like I told you earlier, ESPN said talk say Manchester United are considering an interim head coach. Well, I don't already report that one. I don't need to come waste time about that one, Jerry. Now, When before yesterday, where the news go viral, everybody hear am. They say the players enter Carrington training center. See say Amorim and his staff, they pack their load. They come ask, where are you going? They ask Amorim and him people, where are you going? They say home. You guess. When I read that story, it was a bit emotional for me because I just visualize am like Amorim just dey like this. They just dey pack him bag, dey pack him load. I will say, Coach, wetin dey sup na? Where dey go na? So I dey go my mama house. So I will say, wetin happen? Wetin happen? Then before you know, and the hierarchy dem dey come for. In fact, the journalist wey report this thing na Laurie Whitwell rather. So in the cover Manchester United for the Athletic, and you see say as I see that thing, I come say this is exactly what me sef I dey do. Although I no dey cover am for anybody, I dey cover am for myself and my community. No say me na my specificity na Arsenal. You get, this is my specialized bits because in journalistic balance they call it specialized bits. All these things wey we dey cover na bits. E be some people dey cover politics, some people dey cover fashion, some people dey cover entertainment. All these are bits. So me I dey cover sports, but inside that sports I can't niche down, focus on one particular specialized bit. You get, for when they teach us journalistic kini, like some people dey cover Aso Rock, some people dey cover National Assembly. You get, na still politics but na a specialized bit inside politics. Just as I discover Arsenal now, it's a specialized bit inside sports journalism. You get, I know dey cover everybody, even though once in a while I go still dey give una snippets of wetin other people sef dey do. Now inside that Carrington, and there the hierarchy, people like Jason Wilcox, Omar Berrada, they can't address the Manchester United player, come let them say, Omo, this guy don't Koshikuro. Well, let's forgive my French. Then this guy don't come out to, you know, they again, Koshilo, you know, they again. So, all right, hold on. Now, moving on. So, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, in October, he said Amorim was going to stay here for 3 years, which means Ratcliffe understood that you need to give managers time. But Amorim himself can't use him mouth finish himself, him cobalize himself. If say no talk that way in talk, he go still dey at the helm of affairs, and that's just the truth. So my dear Arsenal lovers, I think the biggest news of the day, now the fact that Virgil van Dijk come outside as a Liverpool captain say they go dey very very ready for the Arsenal big fight. We don't tell all in players, say make dem brace up because e no go dey easy. He use him mouth talk am to beIN Sports interview. Say nobody has been able to beat Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium in all competition. Him know the kind hierarchy of things. Bayern don come there. Oh, Bayern. When Bayern dey hot, no be now. When Bayern be hot, dem come dey collect. Almighty Man City came. They saw, they couldn't conquer. They ran away like headless chickens. So, una, with a depleted squad, if Liverpool collect draw for the Emirates Stadium, I no go happy. I no go happy if they collect draw. If they ever collect 2-0, I no go happy. Supposed to knock them wetin no good. But we know say no dey that easy. All of us just dey talk. Let no gather our so we just dey talk. So my dear Arsenal lovers, with that being said, I think it's a fine place for us to just call the show and it's like come here later in the evening to give you the evening news. Then thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your day. Not get out. All right, guys. Ciao.